What is going on, Guardians? So today was the official gameplay reveal of Destiny 2. I actually had to work 7 a.m. to 2 p.m. Eastern time, and I'll tell you, I purposely held off my lunch until about 1 hour out of my before my shift ended at about 1 p.m. Eastern, which is when the live stream launched, and I took a 40-minute lunch, even though my lunch was at 30, just because I was so lit, so hyped about this trailer. And I watched it. I actually took notes on a freaking napkin because I planned on making this video for y'all and just, diving in, about what we know. You may already know what I know, but I wanted to, give my thoughts on the matter and, all of what was shown in that first 40 minutes. I didn't see the last, 15, 20 minutes of the live stream. But I talked to Rue about it and pretty much didn't miss much, I guess. So anyways, guys, let's dive right in. First thing is, if you didn't watch the cinematic trailer when Destiny 2 was world premiere trailer launched, basically it's a new story. The story is that the Cabal Red Army Legion attacks the tower and we lose. We lose that battle against the Red Army Legion, and at that point, Gorg, or whatever, also known as Gary, as Cade called him, the leader of the Red Army of the Cabal, he basically, leads the Cabal in, takes out our tower, wipes away our light, and I believe kidnaps the speaker, which, overall just makes it for, what the hell is going on? Makes it for a very interesting intro into Destiny 2. You actually get to play defending the tower. At first you start as like a random Guardian, and then you, the second half of the mission, it looked like you were able to use your Guardian that you create, your character. So that's pretty cool. Opening up also, it was said that you start on a loss. So the story is going to start on a loss, and then we're going to build from there through the campaign. There's 4 main planets. EDZ, which stands for the European Dead Zone. It's pretty much probably going to be the largest area, or largest planet. Then we have Titan, which is it's like a moon of Saturn. That's like home of the Titans. I believe that's where the Titan Vanguard goes. Commander Zavala. And then we got Nessus. Nessus. It's a Vex machine type world where Cade is being not held at. I think it's by his choice, but that's where he's home at, and that's mostly going to be for the hunters. And then Io, which is it's a moon or Jupiter alike planet, mostly for the warlocks. So those are kind of like the 3 that kind of show, and then I guess EDZ, or the European Dead Zone, is kind of like the big central hub. I mean, that's the way I interpreted it. Also, there's going to be new strikes and a brand new raid coming. There's going to be launch into a new activities without orbiting. So you're going to be able to launch straight into a new activity just by opening up like your little HUD or whatever and launching into something else without having to actually go to orbit. And that's going to eliminate a bunch of downtime between waiting and stuff. That's something that's going to be extremely awesome to not have to wait on anymore. So pretty stoked about that. I'm just going to go into a patrol so you don't have to just see me chilling here, and because that is kind of boring. I'll go into a quest, whatever, to a story mission. So anyways, guys, what else do we know? We know that there's going to be a let's talk about Crucible for a second real quick, because that's obviously my strong point. If you watch my channel, you know that I'm a competitive PvP player. PvE is fun to do, and it's awesome to use to change it up on my channel, but I'm mainly a PvP player, does trials, carries, and tournaments, in the future, tournaments and stuff. So Crucible is going to be changed to 4v4 across all formats, across all game modes in the Crucible. It's going to be 4v4. That leads me to believe that Destiny 2 is going to support, and Bungie is going to support, more of a competitive PvP atmosphere. And they said that PvP was going to, and Crucible was going to be more based around the true PvP player. So it's not going to be something where, oh yeah, bring your little PvE. So therefore, I'm hoping that it won't, be, given as much love by, but the PvE side of it won't be given, as much crossing into the PvP, which is really what I'm stoked about, because I didn't like as much that it was so in between. I like for there to be a very competitive atmosphere, and then there to be a very social atmosphere. Like in all the way back in Halo, when there was ranked playlists and social playlists. Like if you want to just chill out with your friends, play Crucible, player versus player, that's fine. But play the social playlist if you're ready to really sweat for the win and try. Then rock with your ranked playlist, and that also kind of can decrease on D-ranking, hopefully. If you don't know what D-ranking is, that was where people used to purposely lower their levels just to hire them back up again. And a lot of times it became to the point where like people would really troll, and it got really annoying. So anyways, guys, also I'm using my new scuff. That's why I'm just kind of running around using the new scuff that Merciful got me. So awesome. Thank you. Shout out to her. Trying to work on my jump shot. Anyways, so that's going to be something I'm I'm looking forward to. And there's going to be also a new playlist called Countdown, which is an attack and defend, kind of like territories gameplay. So it's something that sounds like it could be very competitive, and could end up working out for the long run. For competitive play. So I'm stoked about that. That didn't sound. Sometimes with the sequel, you really have to worry that they're going to do something that kind of kills the true aspect of the game. The kind of where the game originated from. You always want a sequel to be better than the one before, to be better than the prequel. Sometimes Halo, that doesn't always happen. When Bungie let go of Halo, they released Halo Reach, which was still their game under their name, under their title, but it was like a quickly released, sloppy put together game, and it was the first Halo that never, that included XBL, Xbox Live, but did not include a ranking system. That was a huge setback for them because it was picked up by MLG, still very competitive, but there was no way really to set, the difference between top tier and mid tier players online. It, got to where game battles was the only thing that really, gave bragging rights, and where you placed on Halo Tracker, which is like the online leaderboard ranking system that Destiny has with Destiny Tracker. So anyways, moving on, I really like the idea for the Crucible and stuff like that. I believe that the new game type, as well as just the outlook that they're bringing to it in general, is going to be very positive for PvP, and it can only help the game grow as a competitive game, because it wasn't really like people laughed at the word the phrase competitive Destiny before. If you weren't involved in competitive Destiny, you really didn't respect it, because there wasn't really much backing from the creators of the game. Bungie and Destiny department really didn't show much love for true competitive Destiny, and now it seems like they might be acknowledging it after the signs that Destiny 1 has some hope in that area. So next, moving on, obviously we know it's a new story. Supers and weapon slots. So as you can see here with the weapon slots, we have back in year 1 we had some elemental damage primaries, and I don't have any of the new raid weapons. They brought back that with the new raid weapon exotic types that had elemental damage, such as like this is void, and that is arc, and that is solar. It was briefly discussed in the video, like they really didn't even like do anything but touch on it or mention it. They didn't really even touch on it. But it's energy, power, and kinetic. So there's 3 types, which are energy, power, and kinetic. I'm guessing that is going to be either that's energy, that's power, and that's kinetic. That's the way I think that they mentioned it. Or it might be 3 different types, like solar, void, and arc, but it'll be energy, power, and kinetic, and you'll have 3 different types, and it'll still be primary, special, and heavy, or yeah, whatever. So it's really up in the air. I'm not exactly sure. It's either one or the other. It's whatever. Either way, it seems to be following a similar system as Destiny 1 right here, with the the void, arc, and solar, but with the energy, power, and kinetic could be meaning different classes, because he mentioned the Crucible. He's like, oh, and then you'll be able to have, this heads into the next point, there's a new Crucible HUD, so you'll actually be able to like see when people have supers or when they picked up power weapon or ammo. And see, that's what he said, power weapon ammo. So when he said that, I started to think, okay, maybe special is now power, this is kinetic, because I saw like what looked like a rocket launcher that when you spawn into that very first mission as your guardian, the the player on the beta or on the live stream today had like what looked to be like a huge rocket launcher that was firing what looked like kinetic or like energy powered ammunition out of the gun. So that kind of like rang a bell when he said kinetic. That it kind of seemed like it'd be energy, power, kinetic. So that is my main thought, that I think it's probably going to be primary is going to be energy, special is going to be power, and special is going to be heavy is going to be kinetic. But it could be that all three are for all three slots. It's one or the other. Either way, we'll see, I guess. Or maybe we'll know more in the future. Supers. There is 3 new supers. Now, this is another thing where it's either between A or B, because there's 2 ways that I interpreted this, but I'm not exactly sure which one's correct and which one's incorrect. There's 3 new supers: Dawnblade, Sentinel, and Arcstride. So, Dawnblade seemed to be for the Warlock, Sentinel was for the Titan, and Arcstride was for the Hunter. So, if that is correct, which I know Sentinel is definitely for the Titan, and Ruin, Pete, my brother and roommate, both agreed that Dawnblade was for the Warlock and Arcstride was for the Hunter. Made sense because Arcstride looked like a different version of Arcblade, where Dawnblade I didn't really catch a clear glimpse of it, but it looked like it maybe was like throwing fire down. So I don't know if it's like a solar version of Nova Bomb, but in the trailer when they were fighting to defend the tower, Bubble was popped, Smash was used, I think Pete said Self-Res was used, and Nova Bomb was used. Warlock Vanguard Quartermaster, I should know her name, but I don't. At the table, the Warlock one, she used Nova Bomb on a ship. Jumping up in the air, Nova Bombed a ship. Swing. So that kind of maybe hints that Nova Bomb's going to stay in. Self-Res is going to stay in as the 2 supers, which makes sense because those were the 2 original Destiny 1 supers. Just like Smash and Bubble were used in the trailer, which makes sense because they were the original Destiny 1 supers for the Titan. And Cade popped his Goldie. And I don't think anyone popped a Blade, but this Arcstride thing is Arc. It's like a different version of Arcblade. So that leads me to believe that possibly Arcblade and Golden Gun, which were the 2 original supers for the Hunter, will be in. So I'm not exactly sure how they're going to angle this. They just mentioned that these 3 new supers named Dawnblade, Sentinel, and Arcstride will be featured in the game. So I guess we have to wait for more information and more clarification to really understand the difference in what's going on in that aspect. So yeah, that's all my main points. Moving on to some of my other points. I already said strikes are back, and there's going to be one brand new raid to launch it off. Then obviously more raids probably with more DLC. You can launch into activities without orbiting. Lastly, there's a new map, like the way that Orbit's laid out. It's a new layout, obviously, for that. And then lastly, really the last thing I have that I can think of is there's these things called Lost Sectors. And what they are is they're kind of like, if you've ever played WoW, which I only played one time, so I can't really speak from experience on that. But Skyrim is a great example. Skyrim, you would, along the main quest, you would encounter side quests, which usually, ended up leading you to like a dungeon and gave you the opportunity to go down and maybe fight like a boss or, a bunch of goons and, bounty hunters, whatever, and bandits, and you would end up, obtaining a prize from it, such as like a chest, rare armor, nice high level, stuff that really can help you advance through the game. So that's kind of like what this was described to be. You can get these lost sectors through searching for them or through just randomly encountering them, and basically you're going to be able to search for them specifically, is what it said. But also, if you want to, you can actually just encounter them, whenever you happen to find them. But they were kind of described as side quests that you will encounter throughout the game that can help you just go and get new gear, new armor, and advance your Guardian to being stronger. So really, some really awesome stuff they let us in on. I'm so mad I wasn't able to go. That would have been so lit because they actually got to play hands-on the game early. How heartbreaking is that? So I'll just have to wait another 3.5 months to play it. But as soon as it's gonna be released, I'm literally taking off work like 3 straight days, and it's gonna be lit. We're gonna do a whole build up thing, ruin myself, and it's gonna be a 24-hour stream. We've already made that commitment, and been saying it in multiple videos. We're not going to go back on that unless something crazy comes up. It is going to be a 24-hour live stream launching into Destiny 2. Obviously, at first, Rue and myself will probably be killing it in the campaign, and once we get decent enough gear, I'm all about hand cannon, so once I get a decent enough hand cannon, maybe we'll make some of that live stream some Crucible. Doubt very seriously we will launch into Destiny 1 any on that live stream, but it is Friday, so if Destiny 1 is still popping, we might go and just do a flawless card on stream, but we're not going to be on Destiny 1 for any more than just that. And I doubt, honestly, with Destiny 2 out, that we even get on Destiny 1. So, yeah, it's going to be all about Destiny 2, most likely. And, yeah, it's going to be literally so hyped. I'm so pumped for it. But I try not to get too pumped because it is 3.5 months away. So, anyways, guys, that's all I really have on Destiny 2. It's absolutely amazing. If you want to know any more, definitely go search out some other creators' contents, including Rue. Definitely go subscribe to his channel. And anyways, guys, that's all I got for you now. But definitely super hyped, and I hope you are as well. So definitely book your calendars, mark the date, September 8th, 24-hour live stream. It's going to be hype. All right, guys. See you there. Thank you for watching. As always, please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next video.